Hi there, beautiful people. I thought I'd make a little video just to share a little bit of those general ideas or my personal view about the tarot and what it really is. And I'm sure I can describe this in so many different ways, but most people come to the tarot looking for answers. They're looking for answers to their questions. They're looking for help to make choices. They're looking for sometimes for a little bit of purpose, but they're looking to understand something in life, understand something in somebody else, understand something inside of themselves a little bit better. And so they kind of, want to ask the cards and receive some guidance of some sort. So that's like the general rule for when people use the tarot. But where's that guidance coming from anyway? So it's us that shuffle the cards, it's us that mix it up, it's us that picks the cards, and yet we don't pick the cards consciously knowing what we're picking. We don't choose the cards with our conscious mind. We choose it with our unconscious mind. And so our subconscious is mixing the cards up in the perfect way. Our hand might move across the cards and pick a card. We might shuffle and decide to stop just at the right time. And then the messages come out, and then the cards that come out. And we kind of just blindly have faith and trust that, yeah, this is the answer that I need to see and that I need to hear. So we look at it and we try and see what that answer is and how it relates to our question or how it relates to our query and whatever it is we're looking to find guidance about. And so this card comes up, but so fundamentally this is a conversation we're having with ourselves, with the subconscious, with our unconscious self. And if we're doing readings for other people, it's a conversation that we're having with their unconscious or their subconscious parts of themselves too. And so we're having the faith that this, what is invisible interaction and communication, is taking place so that we are conversing with the subconscious of another person, maybe to give them guidance or to share, channel, whatever, be a little bit of guidance for other people. And then the card comes up and there's lots of symbols on it, and if we've intellectually memorized those meanings of what those symbols mean, we try to make a story out of it. And we make a story out of it according to how good storytellers we are, or how much we've memorized the story, or how much of a personal journey or relationship we have developed over the years with the card itself and the symbols and what they might mean to us. And everybody's got a very a very individual and personal relationship with symbols, and so the relationship with the cards is going to be slightly different. One tarot reader will read them one way and another reader will read them another way, and it's not wrong or bad, it's just subject to translation. Because the tarot and the symbolism inside of the tarot it's a language. It's a language that we learn, and we learn that this kind of means that and that means this, but those meanings are quite broad. And what somebody sees in the pentacles is not what somebody else is going to see in the pentacles, and everybody's going to have slightly personal and individual experience and ways of translating this one language. And those ways aren't wrong, even though they might be very different. We're going to be drawn to the tarot reader that matches us vibrationally, is in tune with us, and is probably going to be able to give us the best message that we want, etc. But in the end, whether we're going to a reader or whether we're drawing cards for ourselves, it's always going to be a conversation with ourselves. It's always going to be messages from our subconscious. And the tarots is a language of symbolism, but this symbolism isn't just in the deck. I mean, pentacles represent something. The watery element of cups represents something. This is something in the world. It's something everywhere around us. This is a language that doesn't just stop speaking to you when we put our cards away. It's a language that is always having a chat with us and always having some type of communication with us. We walk around and the elements are outside of us all the time. Those symbols, those colors, those images, they're there all the time. And on the broad way we translate them is always there. Life is always talking to us, and our subconscious is also always talking to us. So the skill in reading the cards and the skill in working with this language of symbolism is a skill that develops as we understand the language. And the language is just a reference or a mirror to, in the cards there's all of the chords which represent, the different qualities of our personality and the different traits that we might have at different times of our lives, and the depth of all of our personal characteristics. They're all there, all of them. Not one will be missing. Whether we're like psychopathic narcissists, or whether we're angelic people of higher guidance, it's all going to be in there. And all of the other cards represent, transitions, changes, lessons, challenges, experiences, of which every single experience that we've ever had and every single experience that we ever will have is all there. It's all in the cards. And so the vastness of that symbolism is quite huge. And in order to translate that, we're going to have to stretch our mind a little bit. We're going to have to take the symbols that we understand and actually make an internal comparison to something that we know. And so the more experience we have in relating to symbols, with or without the cards, is going to help us translate and understand that language. And the more maturity and experience and the more we know ourselves as personality-wise, the more we can relate to everything. So obviously when we're younger, we're going to relate to one degree, but when we get older, we're going to relate to another degree. And it's not better or worse. It's not like, hey, if you're in the sixth form, you're better than somebody in the first year. No, it's not better or worse. It's just, there's naturally going to be a larger range of ability to relate to something. Not always, but age does have something for it. We might be worse at some things, but we'll hopefully have a little bit of more of life wisdom when we get older. But it's the relating to ourselves that really brings the wisdom in the story. So if you're looking to understand the tarot, relate as much as you can to what's going on inside of yourself. And for me, the tarot has always been a poser of questions. It's never been like, oh, the answer's going to be easy. It's like this. Yeah, sometimes it is. Sometimes it's just like clear as crystal. Here's the message. Go for it. But I never just sit back and trust those clear messages. I'm grateful for them, but I know, hey, we can take this and have a look on another level. What does this mean on another level? And there's always another level, and another, and another, and another. And we can just go on, and I can speak about one card in 20 different ways, and it'll always be valid. It'll be valid to the reading and be valid to the person I might be talking to, or in a coaching session with, or whatever. And there's something very special in this language. But one other thing that I wanted to share just before I sign off is that I don't see the tarot as a means to an end. I don't see that, and a lot of people will use it as such. And I don't see it as this magical, wonderful thing. No, I see it as an excuse. I see it as a nudger, a prodder. I see it as something to promote an inner dialogue and an inner conversation, and something to actually give you an excuse to talk to your subconscious and listen. More to the point, listen, right? Listen to yourself. Listen to what you might receive. Listen to life. If you want to imagine it's a higher consciousness, that too is coming through. That's going to be part of the conversation. And it's about creating more excuses to have that experience, to promote that conversation, that inner honesty, that inner way we just learn to question our programs and find answers from within. For me, the tarot is going to be part of our journey, but I think the ultimate way to see the journey that I've had and I share and teach with the tarot, with my students or with other people learning about the tarot, is to say that, hopefully you'll get to the point where one day you won't need the cards to answer the question. It's about finding that guidance within in the end anyway. And life is continuously talking to us. So do we need an extra conversation or an extra excuse to have another conversation? Or can we learn to have that honest conversation with ourselves and make that work a grounded and rooted part of our daily life? Doesn't mean that we have to question everything that takes place. It doesn't mean we have to look into the depth of every tiny little thing that happens in our lives, but The big things, yeah, we've got to look at those. And when we're triggered emotionally, when we're triggered mentally, and when there's something that's not quite balanced, grab that. Grab that, have a look at that, challenge yourself, ask yourself questions. Don't take anything for granted. Don't think you know. Don't think you understand everything just because you have a little bit of history or a little bit of self-awareness. No, question it all so that you can find more and go deeper. And with that depth, your life will deepen as well, and your sense of self will deepen, and your purpose will illumine itself, and your path will become more clear, and your head will become more convinced about what you're doing and who we are and why we're here and blah de blah. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the rant. I'd love to hear your comments about what tarot is for you, and have a fantastic day.